Just like bleep random shit so it sounds like we're saying slurs all the time. But
Yeah.
We need to have like alternate cuts of the episode where we just like throw in the censorship to make it sound worse. Get the censored episode on the bonus feed. No, you gotta put that out for free, so we can all right, well, welcome back everyone to another bonus episode. We should start calling them boner episodes, because when you get the suck, you get a boner. Oh god. I apologize.
You gotta get a bonus before you get this.
Thank you, Willow. You've slightly redeemed.
We're not sucking any soft episodes.
Well, it just takes commitment to really suck on the soft ones. That's all. You gotta see them through, and that's what you gotta do. But there's a lot of good stuff. Sorry.
Speaking of what?
Speaking of soft,
I was going to ask if you guys had seen Baby Reindeer, because Ashley and I just finished it, and it's quite good.
We didn't finish it. We didn't finish it.
No, that was the last episode. At least that's that there wasn't a one that's released.
Oh, really?
I think that was the season.
I saw a tweet today that I did not understand that was like, the most famous people from Scotland are Shrek, Fat Bastard, and the Martha from Baby Reindeer. And I was like, I have no idea what that last line means. So please tell me what Baby Reindeer is, because I'm still thinking about the tweet. I have no idea.
Well, it's kind of like a we can't tell you too much because it's like you should
just
watch
give
it.
Me the proper context.
The general gist of it is a guy is a comedian from Scotland who lives in Scotland, begins getting stalked by a lady, and his life spirals out of control from there. But you find out more about what led up to this point and why it happened.
Huge trigger warning for episode 3.
Oh yes.
Wowie. Yeah, it's a really great show though, and I think there is. It says there's one episode left that we haven't watched yet.
Okay.
Can y'all just like zoom out for a second? I just need to know where to watch the show.
Netflix.
What does it come on? Netflix. Thank you. Yeah. That's all I was trying to ask.
But yeah, trigger warning for sure. Like Ashley said, like it deals with trauma and sexual abuse explicitly and right in your face in a way that I haven't really seen done too much. So it was pretty impressive.
Yeah. But it's quite the roller coaster ride.
Still being fairly funny sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny sometimes. Martha's a trip.
Yes,
episode
Martha
3 especially.
Okay.
You said episode 3 especially.
Oh yes. Like, yeah.
Very funny. Yeah.
Oh no, there was nothing. I was like almost crying at the end of it, but I was just like, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be tough. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry about this.
They really hit you with that one, and you're like, okay.
I get it. Yeah, but the chubby Scottish lady. So go watch it. Like,
yeah,
it's a good time. I don't know. I can't really say much without like spoiling anything. That's like the unfortunate part about Baby Reindeer.
Okay, all right. Well, fair enough. We'll have a book club for it after everyone's had a chance to.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Yes.
Come back.
I will. I'll just audit that because I just started watching Twin Peaks again, so I can't really let anything get in my way.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Where are you at in your rewatching Twin Peaks? Where are you at in your rewatching right now?
I just started, so I just finished episode 4. So
oh, okay. I feel like just started is pretty daunting because you have to go through like a 2-hour pilot just to get the plane off the ground, and it's just like I've done it several times where I'm like, oh, let's rewatch Twin Peaks, and then I'm like, damn, let's watch something else. Like,
I'll tell you, I haven't watched it since The Return finished, so it's been a while. A lot has changed for me, and I feel completely different about the show now. It's crazy. You know how it's like, like last time I watched it, it was like, oh yeah, this is all like all this overacting and stuff. It's hammy, it's silly. Now I'm watching it and it seems so emotionally like true that I worry that I have gone insane. Because I feel so much for the people in this show now. Like it's bizarre, but
It's an
I
amazing
will
show that
get
has
through it.
so many layers to experience it, you know, like it's
Mm-hmm.
very bizarre to, you know, for me not having, I don't know, I was probably like 7 or something when it first came on TV, so I
Right.
wouldn't have watched it, but to have that experience to like kind of discover it as like a little hidden gem, which is kind of silly to say, right? Like it was a big deal when it came on TV, but
Yeah.
it didn't have that. It kind of had like peaks and valleys, and it's so good to have no knowledge of it and go to watch it and be like, what am I wait a
Yeah.
second, like it just keeps going, like you're constantly like, what do you what like if you stick with it, you know, especially through season 2,
Yeah.
you know,
Which
there's
is it's an ordeal. It's a lot to
yeah,
get through to get to that last episode,
yes,
which is
exactly.
fucking amazing. But yeah, I think this time I'm gonna do the whole thing. I'm gonna like, right after that I'm doing Firewalk with Me and Missing Pieces, and I'm gonna read the book, the Mark
Wow.
Frost
Oh
book
boy.
too. So we're gonna
Well,
get into it this
which
time.
Mark Frost book are you talking about? The newer
There's
one, or
2, I
like
think,
the
right?
Diary of Laura Palmer?
I believe that the newer one,
It like came out when the
the
return
Secret
came out.
History, Secret
Yeah.
History.
Yeah, I read that too. It was all right. Wow.
Should go with
Okay.
the,
Wow.
what's the cassette tape one? There's I think it's Ancient Cooper's like audio diaries. I think his calls to Diane. There's like a whole entire cassette tape, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I've watched like the whole entire show 4 or 5 times.
Seriously,
but
Jason? I did not
yeah,
know that about
but
you.
I've never read the books. But I hear there's like conflicting things, and so there's a kind of like a bunch of like, people are like, oh well, I'm not sure if that's canon or not. The books might not be canon, but it does add to some things. Like there's some apparently
Yeah,
some
Mark
like
Frost.
mysticism of like, Native Americans like building or their land and things getting destroyed by like everything there in the town. Like I guess like apparently the hotel or whatever they live on the waterfall. Like I think that was built on like Indian reservation or Indian burial ground or something
No,
like
that
that. Like
tracks.
in the
Yeah. Yeah.
so that kind of goes with like the whole entire Josie getting sucked into the wood thing and all. I don't know. There's all kinds of fun theories that add to that stuff. But yeah, I was deep into that show for a long time.
That rules.
Yeah,
That
I'm
rules.
low-key obsessed with it. I won't lie. I'm glad
Yeah.
it hurts my brain to consume it, so I don't. But like when the return came out, it was like a big deal because
I love the return. Yeah.
obviously, it's a big deal for a show to come back after 25 years or whatever, but like I'm saying it's a big deal because the night that it premiered on Showtime, it was billed as like a 2-episode thing, like that you could watch 2 episodes, but in fact there was 4 episodes that you
4,
could watch.
yeah.
And I remember having like my friends over, and we all like had like a little watch party, and then we watched episode 2, then episode 3 came on. They were like, "Well, wait a second, what's going on here?" Like, there's another episode, and I was like, "Oh," they were like, "No, I'm tapping out. Like, I can't do any more tonight." Because it was already 2 hours of fucking weird ass crazy television. They left and went home.
Yeah.
I watched all 4 of that hours of that shit that night.
Yeah,
Like I stayed up till like
same.
2 in the morning, like obsessed with.
I watched like the prior 2 seasons right up to the debut of like the return, and then when I watched the return, I made it a thing to get like super fucking stoned before every show, before every episode. And like when it came time for like the infamous episode where like that big nuclear blast comes, that's like the
episode 8
birth of Bob, the creation of Bob, like it was just incredible. It was like, to this day, I don't think I could ever experience how awesome, that living experience was, being so like just perfectly stoned into seeing this like amazing nuclear bomb and not expected it in like slow motion and stuff. I was like, what? It's like pure silence. I think my wife came down at one point. She's like, what are you watching? I'm like, shh.
Yeah, I was about to ask,
no, not now.
the Twin Peaks, because
she is now. Yeah, absolutely. That's like probably
nice.
why I watched it like the 3rd time, and then she wanted to see it again. So that's 4. Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, now I want to rewatch it. Lee bought me the DVD of The Return. I don't think I have a DVD player.
It just came out. I think Amazon just had a deal on like the whole entire giant box set of like everything in one deal. It was like I think $50 or a little less than that for Blu-ray. But I already had like the the other previous collector sets. There's so many collector sets of that stuff. So
Well, that guy, one of the main guys is the main actor is like that I recognize. I forget his name. He's in Fallout now too.
Kyle
Yeah, Kyle
MacLachlan.
MacLachlan.
Yeah. Which was kind of cool to see because I
just started
didn't know
watching
that.
Fallout too. I'm
Yeah,
on,
I
like,
love when
episode, I think,
he.
4
It's
or
really
5 of
good.
Fallout.
You're in for a treat,
Okay.
man.
I really liked it. Yeah, we thought it was great.
Yeah, Fallout was very good.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
I'm a bad trans because I've never played a single Fallout game. Never mind New Vegas.
I just started.
So.
Don't worry, me neither. I mean, I just started Fallout 4 for like maybe 10 hours, and I was like, I suck at this fucking game. I'm not gonna play it anymore.
Right, that's the thing. I'm bad at games. Like
I've played 3 on. I didn't play the original first two, like the top-down isometric.
Like, if you want me to spend a lot of time like aiming at people and shooting them in first person, I'm not good at this. I'm sorry.
Well, they have the VAT system. That's why it's for so if you don't want to do that, you can just use the VATs.
The VAT system fucking sucks to me. Like, I hated that shit. It drove me fucking crazy. I was like,
you can spec into it though.
But you have to get like resources and all this shit for all this shit. I was just like, that was where I stopped in Fallout 4. It's like, I can't use the power armor. I can't use my VATs because I don't have it. I was just like, this is a true apocalypse because there's no resources. But this is a fucking video game. Shouldn't I be able to like? Why are bullets so rare in this fucking game?
It makes you work for stuff. Yeah, it does.
It's that kind of thing is overwhelming to me. But I appreciate it, and I do want to see the show. But again, I will be watching Twin Peaks until it's not relevant anymore.
Well, the Fallout show has I always want to call him Walter, but that's not his name. His name is
Walter Goggles.
What the fuck
Water
kind of name
Goggles.
is Walton Goggins?
Yeah,
Water Goggles. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just think the guy's amazing. I'd watch him. I'd literally watch him do anything on a TV show. Everything I've seen of him, I'm like,
weirdly,
I mean, Baby Billy. Like so many shows that he's just. I love like an actor that can show up to a thing and they're just gonna be like, "Yep, I'm just gonna be myself for this." Like, put the makeup on or the costumes or whatever, and I'm just gonna like.
Yeah,
exactly
I saw an interview, and he was just like, "I just like being a cowboy. It's fun." I was like, "Hey, hell yeah, dude, you're good at it. I'm like, go fucking be a cowboy," you know.
I don't even think of him as a cowboy. I just think of him as very Southern, like, or very like Kentucky or something, you know, like.
I've really only ever seen him play as like kind of an imbecile, and like kind of goofy. And this is the first time I've seen him be in like a more serious role. And I think he does a good job of it. Also, he's hotter as a burn victim. Who knew?
It is funny that they like made him hot. Yeah. Because ghouls are not hot at like they're like in the games they're like a ghoul is like, oh god, like you're being forced to look upon them, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think his big ass bone structure just loans itself to like like that's just what you want to see in a ghoul. It was like
kind of. I mean, they made him very smooth and like just look like he's like burned. Whereas like, the other ones are like their eyes are hanging out. They're like look like literal corpses. You know,
literally just like missing his nose and has like kind of like ball sack skin on his.
Mods are asleep post smooth Goggins.
What do you think he hides in this little nose cavern? What would you hide in there?
Cocaine.
Starburst.
Yeah. Like, what is it like to sniff cocaine as a ghoul? You're just like,
straight to your brain.
We saw it.
They need twice as much of any substance to get high from it as anybody else, as like a normal person.
Okay.
Well, there was a great. What is the quote? There's a great quote in that show, but that is a very small drop of drugs in a very, very large bucket. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
Very good quote very good line to give that man to say on that show. But yeah, like I just feel like at this point, I wish I just should just be playing up my own Southern accent. I've played it down my whole life, so I can't do it. But
I've been saying that. We've all been saying that.
I don't have that kind of accent though. Like he almost has like an underbite thing going on where he's like, "Well, wait, let me tell you, well, goddamn."
It seems like you fixed it perfectly when you did that.
There's more to it than
I love your accent, Phil. You have a great accent.
Yeah.
You don't got to change it in any way.
What are you talking about?
Oh, please.
Nah, I don't have. I'm very Midwestern anchor
dude,
voice,
you got an
right?
accent. Am I crazy? He has an accent, right?
No, he absolutely has an accent.
Okay.
He's fucking
All right.
But it's definitely not a Walton Goggins accent. That's why I like
No,
watching
yeah.
the guy, because it's like it's iconic. I wish they could do another season of Twin Peaks with Walton Goggins as somebody, because I would watch the
God,
hell out of him.
yeah. He could have
Especially as you
fit
get
in
up.
pretty.
Why don't you come over
pretty
here and suck
easily.
my dick?
Yeah. He could be like a secret third brother that owned the lodge. Those two brothers.
Yeah. He could absolutely be a long lost Horn brother.
Mhm. Yeah, Horn. Thank you. Yeah.
That would be amazing. I'm gonna lose my mind thinking about it. I'm just gonna go create
get
an
enough of
alternate
these
reality where
sandwiches.
that is a thing.
Yeah, he's the one that like found the sandwiches in the first place. Yeah.
What is this? What is
Great.
it? Brie and
The
butter?
baguettes. Imagine him in the Confederacy scenes where what's his name is just like losing his mind in his office with all the that'd be great. All right, there's a bunch of other shit we haven't talked about at all. I did want to bring this up because I don't know. There's been such a backlash from I get the vibe that is from Zoomers that they don't want to have sex scenes in movies anymore. And I've seen that the horny movies are making a comeback. I haven't seen either of these movies, but I've just seen the memes about them.
I don't think they're
Lies,
coming on
Bleed.
anybody's backs in these movies. I think that's a little kind of overstating
Not
it,
yet.
but yeah.
Well, I saw the meme about, I don't even think it was a meme. I think it was unfortunately real that some guy like passed out in a theater after cranking it to Love Lies Bleeding.
What?
That's not.
I
It's
didn't
not
see
for
that.
him. It's not for
Yeah.
him.
Which
Yeah,
one? What's
Dorgan.
the one?
No, it's not for him.
We
That's the
should. That's
problem
the
with most.
lesbian
If
movie.
I want to pass out,
Oh, that's the
theater.
lesbian. That's the Saint Maud director, right?
Yeah.
God bless her. I need to see that movie because it was so good, dude.
Yeah,
You
it
should
looks-
go to
it looks so
jail, like-
fucking good.
Pee Wee Herman. You're not allowed to jerk off to
He
the lesbian
deserves to go to
dude.
jail. Pee Wee Herman is fucking innocent.
I agree.
Yeah, because that was an adult theater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So
You're
agree with
supposed
you
to go
on
and
Pee Wee
Jordan it.
Herman, and then on the second guy, he did get arrested. Like they did call the cops because like he cranked it and fell asleep in the theater.
With
and
his
like,
dick out.
Oh, God, it just
Yeah.
felt too good, I guess. Poor guy.
Incredible. Good.
hey,
Good.
that's
I like
but then
that guy.
also the Zendaya movie Challengers. Is it
Oh,
Challengers?
yes. That I did
Has
see.
come out
That
this
was...
week.
That couldn't be less appealing to me. Just like, I don't want to see that. Like, I mean, I guess it is. People do want to see it, I guess, but just, ugh.
Why?
I don't
What?
It
understand.
just
the
has
premise.
terrible vibes.
Two boys kissed.
I don't even understand the vibes. I just know that there's like a threesome that's the memes that I
Ah!
see.
I mean, like, it just... I know the vibes are that there's it's like two rich frat boys and they both want to fuck the same girl and they play a bunch of tennis. That to me, that's like if someone described that movie, which I think I did somewhat represent it correctly. That seems like a movie I do not want to watch. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
other people can watch that movie. I have no desire to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
Best of luck to everybody involved. Not for me.
I'm gonna crank my hog so hard in that movie theater watching that movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass out with my vagina out.
Just snoring loudly, like laying back.
Excuse me, miss. The sheriff's here.
Oh
Are
no!
you
Oh,
gonna-
this no. This is this is popcorn.
Get off me. Popcorn.
This is popcorn.
It's popcorn grease. Okay, what do you want? You're sexualizing me right now, officer.
Matt's never had sex before.
That's what it looks like, right?
Well, wasn't Poor Thing super horny too?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would call it horny,
Yeah.
but
I haven't seen it
definitely
yet.
There was-
sexual.
There was a horny.
Okay, wait.
There was an
I take it back.
exploration of the fundamental horniness of.
Yeah, there's a horny phase where like the person the character Emma plays is not 100% cognizant of what it means to constantly fuck.
Right.
But like,
She
yeah,
just
you
likes
could
it.
call that horny. And then there's like a whole other phase of like exploitation. Like the sex is all just like she's just trying to make her money, and it's like
Mhm.
you see all these awful people that are like, yeah, like
Taking advantage of that situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she goes and works at a brothel for a good
Oh.
while,
Okay.
and then what's his face?
They sell broth there, right?
Broth.
Yeah.
Just trying to understand this.
Broth.
Works for
Yeah.
broth. Yeah, she goes to a pho restaurant and like
Okay.
a brothel. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, then
Yeah, that
movie.
movie fucking rules.
Okay.
It really does.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those I kept
Love
being like,
that.
I should watch it, and I just never did.
Will I cry?
Yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah,
Please watch it.
Okay.
You'll like it a lot.
I
Alright.
did, but I also cry almost all the time, especially when I'm watching movies. So,
Okay, I feel
but
that.
yeah, it's. I think it's on HBO right now, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Okay, cool. We'll watch that after I cry some more about Baby Reindeer.
Yeah.
Have a cry-a-thon.
It's a super weird movie, but super good. Love it. Okay, shifting gears here abruptly. Speaking of movies, apparently The Rock has been really sabotaging the production of his latest movie. I don't remember. It's like something like the Red One. I don't even fucking know. Who cares what movie The Rock
I like
doing?
The Rock.
Okay, well, apparently The Rock shows up to this set for his movie 7 to 8 hours late, costing rumored. This is a rumor, but they're saying it's costing the production up to $50 million because people are just waiting around 7 to 8 hours for The Rock to show up. And
well, as long as everybody's getting paid, I think that's kind of rules. But I also think he's like a conservative shitbag. So
counterpoint. Once The Rock is there, he is pissing in bottles and handing them to the crew to save time.
Yeah,
because
he's giving them very valuable piss.
That's true. They could sell that for so much money.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I can't go to the bathroom because I'm 7 hours late to this shoot, so I'm gonna piss in this bottle and give it to you.
I swear it's saving time, bro. Please take my piss bottle. I swear it's saving time.
Is The Rock conservative now?
No, he's like he's big brain, galaxy brain centrist. That's his like thing, you know. That's as inoffensive as possible, right? You know,
right. And he's cozying up to like Republican, people.
I'm on the 7th Fast and Furious.
Oh, nice.
And he's in it.
Still going.
And I like him in it.
Yeah.
So
I've always liked him as a like a wrestler and like a personality in
Yeah.
I think this is like a JoJo Siwa I like him in theory type thing. But
but the more I hear about his actual like opinions on things. So.
I don't want to have to take your piss bottles, The Rock. Like,
what is
can't
he?
you just set them down somewhere discreetly? Like,
is he going through something? Does anybody know why he was late? Is he okay?
I have no idea. I would assume that. Well, how do you be 7 to 8 hours late? Can you imagine that? My job, that would just be I didn't come to work today. Like I would just, sorry, I'm 7 hours late. Just gonna clock in for an hour and go home. Like
must be a time zone thing, you know?
Yeah. See, maybe he took a nap.
It's like a private jet issue. It's got to be like a private jet. You know, like where he's like he was like, oh, I'll be in Aruba before then, but then I'll just catch my plane the night before, and it didn't work out or something, and then he fucked it up when he should.
Swing it on over to Nepal.
Exactly.
Sir, we can't really do that. Also, that's not where we're shooting. Why do you want to go there?
I commend someone for being that bookable that they could book a movie where you could waste $50 million so you could go do other things. Like, what is he doing? WWE? I don't know. What does he do these days beyond movies?
He's doing some kind of new like hair and shampoo and shaving products, I think. I forgot.
It's weird considering, you know.
Yeah, he has none. He's like touring Target or something like that all over America, and so I guess that's what he's doing during the day for 8 hours.
Are you serious?
Cool.
I want to meet the marketing guy that like nailed that one. Like, we get The Rock for the shampoo, the new shampoo brand. Like, he'll agree to anything.
Yeah, and if we can't get The Rock, we'll really dig. We'll get Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, we'll get Stone Cold. Yeah.
I miss him. He's my favorite. He's my favorite guy.
Yeah,
I've actually been watching this show where it's like Stone Cold doing these random adventures across America. I think there's only one season of it, but yeah,
is it good?
It's been pretty. It's been pretty fun so far. I mean,
Okay.
it's whatever, but I just like him in general. He's just a fun personality.
Yeah, I just kind of
Yeah.
always like that guy.
Hmm.
He's also not a piece of shit, which I really like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Even though he
everything I've
should
heard
be.
about him, like in his personal life, is that he actually has good opinions about things.
Mm.
Because
We like
Stone
that.
Cold said so. Hell fucking yeah. And then you just pour beer all over yourself, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where we go from here, but there's so many things to talk about. Both of these things are terrible, and we can just unpack whichever one works for you guys. Dan Schneider, we never really got to talk about the Quiet on Set documentary,
Oh
but
yeah.
apparently Dan Schneider's clapping back and suing the producers of that show, which is just
Hilarious.
this is
Absolutely
special.
incredible. I wonder what
That will sway
nano
public opinion.
detail he's going to use to to say, well, this actually wasn't true. This is the part that isn't true. Like, how is he going to manage this? I feel like he's going to fall on his face. Which he'll probably like. He'll probably like because there's like feet down there, but like
he falls directly on that awful like
That
goatee that's like, oh god, that was wretched, man. That I like that was excruciating. I think I said on the podcast that I didn't see Quiet on Set. I also don't have much of a cultural memory because I was too old to be watching it, right? So I was like just aged out when that was like popular, and I wasn't watching that kind of shit at the time. But then I like watched because there was like a thing where he like was being interviewed by an extremely forgiving and sympathetic man who he was friends with, and he was like, they were like, oh, it looks like you were looking pretty bad here, man. Is that true? And he's just like, it's not true. But I couldn't stop looking at his fucking goatee, this perfectly round hole
really
that he's
bad.
talking out of. Looks like a
It looks
fucking
like-
donut.
Yeah,
It's
it looks like a high school like hair and makeup kind of a
Literally
drama
looks fake.
production thing. Yeah.
Well, it reminds me oftentimes when I come on the show and like Matt or Ashley will be like, your beard is really connecting, and I'm like, I don't know if I don't. Why do you always say that? And I'm like, I think of Dan Schneider where his shit connects like so well,
It's
like
too,
so fully.
it's too much. It's a
too
fine
much,
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not. No, this is Chewbacca shit.
It
Like,
should
you need
connect,
to,
but
like-
not connect. It's not. It's not right. Have some self-control.
It's very disturbing. It looks like a butthole sticking out of a hairy dog's ass.
It literally does look like a monkey's asshole, like puckering and like talking to you. It's like so
Yeah. And a
you would
dog's,
only-
you know what they say, actually, a dog's asshole is actually cleaner than Dan Schneider's mouth.
Oh, that I fucking believe. That I absolutely believe.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's fucked up is that, like, I think on the surface of Dan Schneider's humor, I think I would like it if he just didn't work with kids. That's just literally all it was. He just couldn't ever draw a line. And like, I would think that all the shit he thinks is funny if he wasn't doing it around kids. Like, dude, fucking, like, I've got this new page I've been working on, K-Shart. It's a spoof on Kmart. And I like go look for ads, from like the 80s, and they go all the way back to the 20s and shit. But like in the 80s, it's mostly kids, like they're just like back to school clothes. I'm like, oh, I could think of a funny line to edit this to, and I'm like, I don't want to make a shit joke with kids on it. Like, it's not.
Even though those kids are like way older than we are at this point.
And it's clearly like a joke, but it's also
it's in context. It's not terrible, but I'm also just like, no, I don't want to do that. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I do agree. I think that it gives a very bad impression of somebody if they only write and direct kids. And in every instance, they're making the kids do shit that they don't want to do, and also that you shouldn't. It's not stuff that you should be having kids do. It's like I think that's a pretty simple distinction that most people would be able to make, and the fact that he either couldn't or wouldn't is.
Yeah, I think it's
It
both.
speaks
I
to
think he
his.
couldn't and wouldn't. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think he saw the line. Like, he got in a fucking hot tub with Amanda Bynes. Like, what? This shit is fucking unhinged. Like, I'm like, when I see the footage, I'm like, why did anybody else agree to this?
Ew.
When he was in, I can't remember, was he in Head of the Class or something? Was he was in something as a younger person? Or am I imagining that?
I know I've seen screen caps of him in a movie where he was literally billed as like Creepy Steve or something like that, and people are like reposting it, being like, "Wow, that's like that makes
Foreshadowing.
sense."
Oh,
Like,
well, he was okay. So he was in Head of the Class, which was a sitcom around what? Oh God, I have to. I had to see his goatee.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when he was like 19 or 20, he was in this sitcom. So again, not like a child star, but like, when he was younger, he was on TV, and I think it's pretty easy to say he just was addicted to being close to that and wanted to preserve that forever, and that's probably why he, only really was able to do what he did with Nickelodeon, which is write, kids shows and come up with, weird jokes that an adult man shouldn't come up with for kids to say and do.
He was Jacques Renault, right, in Twin Peaks. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Bite
him?
the bullet, baby. No.
Wait,
except without the
Looks like
goatee,
him,
he
though.
knew better.
No,
He knew
that's
better
not
than to
him.
grow a
Okay.
goatee. He knew better.
God, no. I was like, no, don't let that.
I hate how Jason took us from
He's not Walter Okovich.
We had the fantasy of Walton Goggins in Twin Peaks, but instead Jason took us into having Dan Schneider in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, so
Oh God.
The most cursed alternate reality. That
As
we
long
could
as he has a
have.
goatee, it might work.
It would
Yeah.
really work. 'Cause they would definitely do the
he
close
was-
up
he was-
on his lips, like there's
he was in
definitely
The Return. He was in The Return as well.
Well, there's
Yes.
scenes of his
Yeah.
mouth very close up,
Mhm.
which would be perfect for that god awful goatee.
Yeah, and I mean he would be great as a weird like drug smuggling guy who's also
Yes, he
doing
would.
sex trafficking.
That's a
I
more
think.
appropriate role for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody should have offered it to him back then. Oh well.
Yeah, him
Sorry,
and
missed opportunities, Dan.
him and Walton Goggins should have done it. Twin Peaks.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for another bonus episode of The Succ. We love you very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Later, guys. See ya.